Good morning guys. Today I thought we would do a get ready with me video because today in the afternoon I'm actually headed to a wedding. I'll also show you guys kind of what the wedding is like and what the food is like because I'm going to a Chinese wedding, and if you guys are interested in that you can stick around. But this portion of the video is going to be a get ready with me, kind of like a chatting video, because I wanted to update a lot of you guys on having a baby and things, because a lot of you guys have been asking me about it. Right now I'm trying to be a bit more quiet because the baby Jake is actually napping, so you guys might hear some noises because he's really fussy. So anyways, to start I will be using the primer. I've actually shown you guys this primer lots. It's my favorite primer. It is the Unicorn Essence from Facility, and I think this is honestly such an amazing product. I really love it. I use this primer whenever I need to have really good coverage for the entire day, and to make sure that my skin looks good and my makeup is not melting. So I gave birth on August 1st and today is September 6th, so it's been like a month and 1 week, and honestly it's been probably one of the toughest months in my life. It's really tough being a new mom and getting used to everything. When I was actually at the hospital giving birth, oh my god, it hurt so much. I don't know how many of you guys are moms out there, and I'm sure a lot of moms out there have been through the process just like me, and you just cannot imagine the amount of pain that you have to go through. I'm going to be using the YSL All Hours, and the color I'm using is BD20. I think it's the ivory color if I'm not wrong. And so while I was giving birth, I went to the hospital and we went and they sent us home. I don't know if you guys get sent home, but I got sent home the first time, and they told me to come back after 10 hours. But I guess because it's the first time you're giving birth, it's a much slower process than the second time. So basically I got sent home, and then I went back after 10 hours, and by 10 hours I was about 3, I think they said 3 fingers. And then at the time they gave me the epidural because it was so painful. I was literally begging the nurse to give me epidural and they refused, obviously. But at around 5, which it's a new level of pain that I cannot stand, it was just really painful. And at 5 they were like, okay, we can give you epidural, but it was just really painful already. And by the time they moved me into the room to actually give me the epidural, I was at 7.5. So I was dilating at 7.5, and you guys cannot imagine how painful it is. It's honestly so painful. I don't know if I would ever go through it again, but I mean, a lot of my friends got their epidural when they were at 3 or 4, so I don't know why I got my epidural really late. And actually during the time I was giving birth, we had some complications because his cord kind of wrapped around his lungs, and I guess they don't actually check the position and the status of the baby before they ask you to push and do the whole birth giving process, because he had trouble breathing. So for points of time he couldn't breathe, so every time I was pushing he actually couldn't breathe, and his heart rate would drop to 70, 80, and it was really bad, and it took some time to get it up to 100 something again. And they even had to call a rescue team to be on standby in case there was an emergency. But honestly, my doctor was really good, so he had me push continuously for I think 4 or 5 minutes, and then the baby came out, cord was wrapped, they removed the cord, and the baby was fine. He is safe. My mom did mention that usually when the baby has a cord around his neck, most of the time they would do C-section instead of having the baby get pushed out, because they might have breathing problems and they might choke, so you never know. So I didn't understand why they didn't check what the baby looked like before they asked you to give birth, because my mom said good thing it was only 1 cord. If he had looping cords, 2 cords choking him, then there was no way that I was able to naturally push him out. It would definitely have to be a C-section. Coverage of this foundation is actually not that high, so I'm gonna layer a bit more on, because you guys can see you can still see all the imperfections and things like that. But I mean, it's okay. I'm not the one getting married, right? I'm just attending the wedding, so it's not that big of a deal if your makeup doesn't look like it's perfection. I actually have really bad dark circle today, so I'm gonna use the Becca under eye, and you know, like whatever product I use for dark circle and things, it can never perfectly cover it up, so I just don't even bother too much with it. I did mention on Instagram that I'm doing the whole Chinese thing where you're like confined at home for a whole month and you like basically just rest and try to get well. Some people do it for 1 month, some people do it for 2. I chose to do it for 1 month because I didn't really want to stay home for too long. But I mean, like your body is still pretty weak after you give birth, so from time to time I still try to relax and rest and not to do too many things even when I'm outside. Time to put some powder on, and I am using the La Mer loose powder today, and I really like the La Mer loose powder brush. It's so fluffy, it's so big, I love it, and it's just really easy for me to apply powder all over my face with this brush. Basically, for this Chinese 1 month thing, for anyone who's unfamiliar with it, you literally just stay home for a month. You're not allowed to leave the house. You can't like blow wind, you can't like, you know, go in the sun or anything, and you just stay home, you rest on the bed mostly. They give you lots of things to like eat and drink to make your body better. Like I drink a lot of chicken soup, fish soup, and then a lot of eggs, and just eat like very like no salt food and very like non-oily food. And then during the month, you're not allowed to touch cold water, you're not allowed to drink cold water, eat anything like cold. You're not allowed to shower technically, but I did shower, I did wash my hair, but a lot of people don't wash their hair for a whole month. I understand, because like in the old days there was like no hot shower. You would have to boil water or like go to the lake and take like a shower or something. So it's very different, because this is a tradition that has been passed down for generations. So it's very different back in the day, but now because, you know, conditions have changed, and I think, you know, there's some things that got to change with that system. So I did shower, and originally I was like, okay, I'm not gonna shower for the whole month, and then after like day 4 I was like, oh, I can't take it anymore, I need to shower. So I showered. Now for contouring, I'm using the Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder, and I have both the light and the medium. So because today we're going to the wedding, usually I use the light, I don't use the medium because it is quite dark. Let me just show you guys both colors. So the light is like this, and this is the medium. So you can see these two colors are actually quite different. So usually I use the light one on a daily basis, but today, because we are going to a wedding and we're probably going to take some photos, so I thought I would kind of emphasize certain points with the medium one. During the first months, like I had so many issues at home. I think that one of the first issues I had was with my breasts hardening, and you know, there's a whole bunch of conditions related to hardening breasts, and you know, if you get a fever and stuff, you have to go to emergency and get it treated. And I didn't want to get to that point, so I was researching a lot about how to unclog your breast and how to like make sure the milk flow is good. And I think a lot of people have like this problem as well for their first baby. And what I found online actually, which worked really well, was so you basically use your Foreo face washing thing, and you use it to massage your breast while you're breastfeeding, and it actually unclogs your breast. Like it works like magic. Once you have it on there, it just unclogs and it becomes soft. Second thing I had to deal with was with the stitching, and it's actually really painful. Like I never had stitches in my life, so I didn't know how painful stitches are, but it's actually really painful. And even when I was looking at them stitch me up, it looked like there was a lot of stitches. So yeah, I had to deal with that, and even getting on and off the bed was really hard. But by day 10, I think, I pretty much recovered a lot better, and then by day 20 I was back to like almost normal. Like almost, it still hurt a bit, but it was way better, and like you can function a lot better. When I do my nose contouring, I actually use a different product. So this is the Kate eyebrow drying powder. So this is the lighter version, and I use this to basically contour my nose. I usually use the lighter part here first, and then I kind of just go over the entire area, and then kind of like under my eyebrow here as well, so then it would just make it more sculpted and more 3D looking. Then I go in with the second color, and I just do kind of just right here, and I don't want to do too much because then it just looks really fake. So I try to go in quite light so it looks more natural for the contouring. So one of the most important things to do is obviously my eyebrows, and I'm really bad at doing my eyebrows because my eyebrows are actually uneven on both sides, so they're a little bit different on both sides and I can never draw them to be exactly the same. But first I would brush it out, and then I would go in and draw out the shape I want and start filling. This is kind of what I do with my eyebrows. I try to make it more like flat or like straight, and then on the end it's a little bit curved so it looks like you're less mean and you're more friendly. That's basically how I do my eyebrows, and because I do them really bad, so I go in with a eyebrow color which is lighter. This is kind of like a brownish color and it's not like a black color, and I just go in and kind of color out my eyebrows so it looks lighter and, you know, it doesn't look like, you know, the mistakes are very obvious. So I just go in and make everything look more blurry. For my eyes today, I wanted to use the Tom Ford palette, and this is the Eye Color Quad in 01 Golden Mink. It's one of my favorite palettes. It's a very simple and elegant, kind of like a brownish golden look. First color which I apply all over my lids is the color right on the corner right here, and this is the color I use for my lids. It was really nice that I had help because both my parents and his parents were here to help us out. My mom actually stayed with us for 21 days to kind of like take care of me and to help take care of the baby. So I didn't actually have to do like any of the bathing for the baby and like changing diapers. I didn't do any of that. I actually tried to change the diaper a couple times, but every time after I changed the diaper, like my waist area would hurt because you have to bend a little, and then when I get up my waist area would hurt. And you know, honestly, I really felt like my body was just not well. Like it just didn't feel that good. I know a lot of people actually hire help during this time to, you know, go through the whole thing because it is tough. Like the first months you're trying to get well yourself, and then you have to take care of the baby. It's really hard. And even for the feedings, you have to adjust your time. Like every 2-3 hours you have to feed, and that is the same for the night. So it's really hard to like wake up. And I was so happy that I had help, because at nighttime when you have to feed, when I first came home, I wasn't even able to really move myself. Like my mom would take the baby, give it to me, I would feed. She would do the thing where like you help burp them, and then she changes the diaper and stuff and put him back to bed. So that was really helpful, because if I didn't have that, I don't think I wouldn't have been able to do it myself, because my body was so, it was just in so much pain. Like it was hard for me to move around. So I was really lucky in that sense. So for the crease and the back color, I'm using this color on the top right here. And this color is actually really like, it's very light, so it's like not that noticeable, but it does give you some definition, and it's just not a heavy look when I use this palette. So that's what I like. So right now my mom actually has left, and it's me and E's parents. So during the nighttime, E and I take care of the baby. Like I feed him, I do the burping thing, and then E would change the diapers because my waist area still kind of hurts. And his parents would help take care of the baby during the day, like giving him bath, and then like I think playing with him during the day, because I don't know how to play with kids. Like they're very good at like talking to them even though the baby doesn't respond to you, but like I just can't bring myself to talk to the baby and like he doesn't respond. Sometimes I talk to him, but like I just don't know what to say to him. Like I'm just not a very good mom in that sense. For the middle part of my eye, I usually like to put this golden color right here, and I would just go in and put it in the center of my eyes, so it kind of just brightens up the whole look and make it really sparkly and shiny. So next for the eyeliner, I actually just do the back of my eye a little bit. I don't put any eyeliner in the front of my eye, and just only kind of like 1/3 of the back, and then wing it out a little bit. Actually, for today, I did half of my eye for eyeliner. See, it's very light, and it's just like a little tiny line right there. So for me right now, I'm actually trying to take care of the kid, do the YouTube channel, and then I am actually going to be starting to work at the bakery. So every day in the morning I have to go in after, you know, the initial feed for the kid, and I'm gonna learn how to bake and make pastries, because right now I'm probably going to focus on the pastry shop going forward and try to make that business more successful and better, and just like try to put my ideas and my thinking into it and see, you know, how we do. When Jake was born, he was 7 pounds, and now it's been a month and 1 week and Jake is now 11 pounds. So he's grown like 4 pounds during this entire time, and he's just so chubby now. Like, some people really like chubby babies because that's how babies are supposed to be. They're supposed to be chubby and that's how they're cute. But like, I look at him, I'm like, oh my god, his face is so round. Like, he's really chubby, and it's just like really hard for me to lift him as well because I have to carry him all the time. I'm like, oh, he's getting so heavy. How am I gonna lift him as he continues to grow, right? But Jake does look more like me. The Chinese saying is that daughters look like mom. Oh no, daughters look like dads, and dad's dad. Sons look like their moms. So Jake does look like me. He has the same face shape, but his chin is a little bit more pointy than mine. His chin is like this. So I don't know who his chin looks like, but his chin is like really pointy. He has my mouth, he has my nose, he has my eyes. I don't know if he has my eyes, but his eyes are pretty big. So we will see as he grows to see whose eyes he's got. So eyes, everything is done, and one of the final things is the blush, and today I'm using the NARS Madly. It's very light and it's almost like a apricot or peachy light, like nude color. So I just put it kind of like towards the back here a bit. I don't actually put it like right here because I think when you have it in the back, it like makes your face look a bit smaller when you brush it in like this. A lot of you have also commented about how skinny I look. So right now I'm actually, I think about 108 pounds, and during the fattest part of my pregnancy, or the heaviest part, I was about 127. After about a week and a half of giving birth, I was at 110, and then slowly I lost another 2 pounds to 108. I think after I gave birth, like right after when I got home, I measured and I was about 117. So I lost about 10 pounds after giving birth and after like getting rid of all that stuff. And then slowly I was losing more weight as, you know, I started breastfeeding and things. And during this time I actually didn't eat all that much. I know a lot of people eat a lot of things and you eat way more than you should, but I've been pretty consistent with how I eat. I eat almost the same amount as before I was pregnant, or like during my pregnancy, so I didn't really eat like all that much because I know a lot of people eat a lot more after they give birth. And then apart from that, I think everyone's concerned about the belly area because it is very large after you give birth. There's a lot of extra skin, and my mom was like, you know, your uterus needs to shrink down again because it's really big after giving birth. So one of the things that she made me do was just continuously rub like my belly and that area there. So I would go clockwise for like 20-50 times, and then counterclockwise for like 20-50 times, and then I would do that all the time. Like whenever I was like I had nothing to do, I would just like rub my stomach all the time, and I think it really helped. Like at first you can feel like very hard like bumpy things, and that would be like your uterus, and slowly it shrinks and gets smaller, and you can like feel that your body is getting skinnier. So I think the rubbing really helps. I know a lot of people also put like these elastic waist things to help shrink your waist, but I think it's not really recommended in the first 1 or 2 months. You can do it after, but it's not recommended in the first 1 or 2 months because your body is trying to heal and like trying to get rid of all the bad things that was there, or like the residue that's left after giving birth. Yeah, you can totally tell like there's still a lot of extra skin, and it's like very wobbly, like as I'm touching my stomach right now, but it has shrunk a lot, and I do have like kind of a waistline, but I know with my pelvis it has expanded. I know a lot of people say like your hips get bigger, but it's not like really your hips, it's like your pelvis area. And I noticed with my jeans I actually can't fit into a lot of my jeans anymore. Final thing I need to do is just put on lipstick, and this is the Tom Ford Lip Lacquer Luxe, and it is the Insolite Vinyl. So this color is just like a really natural, kind of like a beige pink color. I kind of really like these kind of colors on me because it makes my lips look bigger, and when my lips look bigger, I feel like it makes my face look smaller in proportion. I don't know, because I have really small lips, so whenever I use like more nude or more heavier colors, it actually balances out my face a little bit more. Here is the entire look for today. I'm wearing the Shop Alexis dress, my Mador clutch, a little bit of red on the whole entire black look, and then the Dior crystal shoes, which I just filmed the unboxing video for. I did actually get skinnier after getting pregnant, so my legs are actually skinnier than before I got pregnant, because I used to be around 120 to 123 pounds. Right now I am 108, so I am like almost 12 to 15 pounds lighter than I was before. So my face has also gone smaller as well, and I'm still probably going to get that treatment where, you know, the, what's it called, the jaw reduction Botox that I got before. So I'm going to get that, but maybe after like 2 more months, and I'll get it done and show you guys what it looks like when I am skinnier.